Good morning. Today I'm going to be talking about saving seeds. We're right in the middle of our compost classes right now, and it's the time of year. It's actually September 7th today. It's the time of year when a lot of things are going to seed. We have weeds going to seed. We have forbs going to seed. We have grasses. Most of those went to seed earlier in the summer, but here's grass right here that's going to seed. There's a lot of things going to seed. I have a garlic chive going to seed. There's an onion chive over there going to seed. There are all kinds of things going to seed. Now is the time to be collecting seeds. Now, I have a Patreon member named Stephanie from Northern Utah. And she's been bombarding me with questions. So many, I don't even think I've answered them all. Because when I get a question, I try to type it in and answer your question. And I love it. I'm so happy that she is so engaged in asking so many questions. It's been wonderful and awesome. And there's so many questions she's asked, I don't even know what they all are. I can't remember them all to put them in a video. But today we are going to be talking about seed saving, because that's something I'm doing right now. And that's something that everybody could do. And I think most people should do that. If you are harvesting something that's beautiful and wonderful and tastes so good, save the seeds from that and replant it. And then from its children, you save the very best ones. And you keep saving, and you can have a variety or a strain of something that you turn into your own heirloom. Now, if you're truly going to make a brand new heirloom, you have to have a lot of genetics. So if you were going to raise cantaloupes, you would want to start out with hundreds of varieties, as many as you could get. And that way the pollen would be contributing to the cantaloupes that taste the best. And especially hybrids. People think, oh, you can't save seeds from hybrids. Hybrids is one of the best things to save seeds from if you're producing your own landrace varieties, which is a way to create a brand new heirloom, bred specifically for your area. But we could like break this down into segments, and I could be talking about seed saving for 5 or 6 years, doing a video twice a week, because it is a vast, amazing, great big giant science. So what I want to do today is simply show you 3 or 4 plants. We might see 20, I don't even remember. But we're going to walk into the Wallapini here. I'm going to walk around. We're going to look at things that are going to seed. And I'm just going to take the camera off the tripod. We're going to go in there and we're going to look at things that are ready to harvest, or things that are going to be ready to harvest soon. Here we go. When I get to 15,000 Patreon members, I think I'll hire a cameraman. Okay, I harvested onions a couple of days ago. I have them on this table drying. I'm not saving seed from those. Let's look around here, see what we can see. We have our irrigation system here. I'm going to shut it off. I had it running all night so things could get a good soaking. I've been starting some transplants from my strawberries. When the runners go out, they start out making little roots, and I take them off and put them in these pots, and then I can put them where I want them later if I don't want them to be that thick in the strawberry patch. I have seedlings coming up here. I have some peas. This is lettuce, spinach, radishes, and beets right there. I have a couple of pomegranate bushes here. Okay, so here's a cilantro plant that has gone to seed right here. And this is the cilantro seeds, and it's an herb called coriander. These ones are dried out and they're ready to pick and harvest. So I will pick those off. That's the seed right there, the little round guys. So as we come in here, there's a little bit of standing water in here. on the ground. It's the middle of summer, so that shouldn't be a real problem. But I wanted to get it soaked really good. Now if we look over here, I have my poles up, my bean poles are up, but those are peas that are starting to grow up there. But beyond those right there, we have those pom-pom things. Those are onions over there. And those are going to be ready to harvest at any time. When you look at the individual little seed pod on those, what you will see is they will burst open and they'll be full of black seeds. And so those are about ready to harvest now. And so that will be pretty awesome. Of course, things like tomatoes are pretty simple, because what you do is you just, when you have a tomato plant that produces a very good, thrilling, tasty tomato, if you want a big, beautiful slicer that tastes good, then you simply pick the one that you want, you take it in the house, you're eating it. If it tastes awesome, then just get the seeds out while you're eating it. And you know, you don't need many seeds, 20, 30 seeds. And then I have cucumbers in here. Now cucumbers are a little bit different, because you've got to save seed from the plant that has the variety you want, the characteristics you want. Okay, so here's a big yellow cucumber. See this one here? Okay, so there's a big yellow cucumber. This is a pickling cucumber. You pick this one about 2 inches long. That's about 8 to 9 inches long. So this one, it had a good flavored little cucumber, and I thought that's a good plant. So I let one of the cucumbers grow to be giant, and when this gets completely mature later on, this will get big, it'll get hard, it'll begin to dry out. Then the seeds are viable and ready to go. So you wouldn't save a little seed from a little tiny cucumber that's like you would eat for a pickle. You would just save one of its sisters that came from the very same plant of the one that tasted good. Alright, let's move on now. I have a big beautiful bell pepper here. And these bell peppers are super good. And what we're going to do with these bell peppers is eat them. But if I want to save seed, I wouldn't necessarily save seed from the pepper that I'm eating, although usually you can unless you pick it when it's really small. So these big ones, what you would do is you want the seeds to mature. So if you have a really good flavored and it has a thick wall, it has the attributes, maybe it turns yellow or it turns red, so it has the attributes and the characteristics that you want in a pepper, then you remember which plant you picked that one off of, and then you let its sisters on the plant completely mature. So the plants, bell pepper will turn different colors usually. They'll be green and then they'll go red or pink or blue, or I don't know. There's a lot of different colors peppers can turn. So they'll turn their color, and then when they start to go a little bit wilty on the vine, pick them off, cut them open, and get the seeds out. The seeds will be ripe and mature at that time. And over here we have some of these beautiful, some chilies here. And here's another variety of a chili. So we have different kinds of chilies right through here, and it's the very same thing with all peppers, what I just explained with the bell pepper. Let one of the peppers, or 2 or 3, on one plant that has really good quality. You want to let those stay on the plant, and those are the ones you'll get seed from. Here's a chocolate bell pepper. Okay, so here's a pepper right here that's starting to turn red. And so it's beginning to mature. And here we have more onions. And these nice big beautiful onions, we tasted these onions from this batch of seed. And so when these pom-poms dry out and begin to open, you'll see the little black seeds inside, and they will just fall out naturally. So you have to get the seeds out. You have to be watching them every day. And when they start to open on the top, you've got to get those seeds out. Let's see what else we can see in here. I don't even know what we have. Oh, here's some more peppers. These are shishito peppers. Okay, so here is a kale plant, and it has been blooming. They have these beautiful yellow flowers that you can eat. And then they produce a pod like this, and you can actually eat those little pods. Those pods are super good. And then they go dry. And when they go dry like this, once they get dry, we can break that open, and that's going to be clear full of kale seeds. Okay, so there's the pod. They fell out. I don't even know if you can see this. I apologize if you can't, but there's the kale seeds. Most of them rolled off, so I just planted kale. But there they are. So those are the seeds. Let me think. Here's a bean plant. So I can show you on a bean plant. Here again, only select the characteristics you want. So this is a Scarlet Runner bean, and they're called Scarlet Runner because they have beautiful red flowers. See the red flowers on those? The hummingbirds come in here. They absolutely love them. So that is wonderful and awesome. And you can see those beans right there. And when the beans dry up, there's a dried one down there. Okay, I'm going to risk my life, and I'm going to try to reach that. I can't step over there because I'm reaching over the tomato trellis. Oh, let's see. Oh, I did it. I got it. Okay, so here's the bean pod. I'm gonna do a one-handed wonder on this one. Once they're dried up like this, you open them up, and oh, it fell down. Oh man! Anybody want a job as a cameraman? And here's the beans. Beautiful, wonderful black beans. Those are going in my pocket, by the way. So there we are with a few things to save for seed. Peas would be the same as what I just showed you with the bean. Basil. There's my basil I cut. I keep cutting it. I'm not letting it bloom. It would be the very same. It would be very easy to grow seed from. So here's something beautiful. Right over here, we have one of my artichokes go to seed. And with my superior camera skills, I'm going to try to. But there is an artichoke that is beginning to bloom. A great big beautiful flower. After that completely blooms, dries up, we can take it in the house and have artichoke seeds. And there's the Scarlet Runners. And then if you look down here, you can see these purple flowers. Those are potato plants that have started taking over the whole world. I need to dig those potatoes. I wanted to do it today, and I don't know if that's what I'm gonna do or not. I'm just looking around here to see what else there is that we could save seed from. But that's how this goes. You just look around. Ah, look at that. Here's my dill plants. These have been growing in here almost forever. But these dill seeds are past the time of harvesting, which means the seeds have been falling on the ground. So I have it in my hand, and I'm just rubbing it like that. And there's a handful of dill seed, and I'm just going to scatter those and let them fall on the ground. Here's lettuce right here that is bolting. That means it's growing up, a big stem that comes up, and then it has flowers on top. So this is lettuce that's growing up here, and this is these are the flower buds right here, where it's going to produce seed. Right here, flower buds, it's going to produce seed right there. Okay, there's the Egyptian walking onions. if you're gonna propagate these and get these to grow. There we go. Those Egyptian walking onions, you just pick the little onions off the top and you can replant those wherever you want. Okay, so there's a pom-pom of a white Lisbon onion. So it's a green onion. They never make a big bulb on the bottom. They're just a green onion variety. And those ones have grown and the seed has already fallen. So I'm going to have baby green onions coming up off the ground. Anyway, this is a look at what we could be saving for seed. Oh, here's carrots. These carrots are going to seed right here. I'm not going to save seed off of these, but I certainly could. Hopefully this has been helpful today to know a little bit more about saving seed. Like I said, we could talk about seed saving. We could talk about each plant and the differences. But mainly you just let it mature and ripen until it's done. Until it's like finished its life cycle. That's what I mean by done. And at that point, you just harvest the dry seeds. Make sure they're completely dry and then put them in the freezer, because cold temperatures is the best way to have the seeds be protected. Heat is the thing that kills seeds the worst once they're dry. So if you're storing them at room temperature, they tend to not last as long as if you store them in the freezer. So some plants you would propagate by seeds, other plants you propagate by leaf cuttings or vegetable cuttings, like the strawberries and the walking onions. You would just take part of the plant and replant them. Most vegetables in the vegetable world, the gardening world, are seed, propagated by seed. Okay, there's a quick update on seeds. So that shows you quite a few things that you can do with seeds. I will continue this because seed saving is important.